Okay, so good day. I know you have probably heard the phrase where you see a 90% of traders lose their money on daily basis. And that is true. Why? Because you have very few traders that understand what we call risk management. And risk management is actually the act of preserving your capital first. That is one major thing you want to look at for. You want to preserve capital. It's $1,000. If it's $10,000, you want to make sure that this capital is always intact before you start looking for profit. So with this kind of mindset, you are always very mindful of the kind of risks you are putting on your account. So we'll be looking at some few things that are very, very, very important and crucial for risk management. And one you have is how much you allocate per trade. And this is particularly common to people that actually flip accounts. Yeah. So if you are a scalper, you want to flip your account, you use risk allocation where you just have your money in separate accounts. I will talk more on that extensively. Then you have percentage per risk, risk percentage. Sorry. So you actually risk by a particular percentage. I think we'll be talking more on that. So you have, for instance, a balance of $10,000. The ideal amount to risk here to make sure that your emotions are in control while trading, and you can actually allow your trade run for a long period of time, depending on whatever is your analysis, is you are risking between 1 to 3%. So this is what percentage per trade means. So this is what percentage per trade. So you are risking 1 to 3%. And on a $10,000 account, 10% is 1,000. So definitely 1% is $100. So you are risking between $100 to $300 per trade. To make on a minimum, you want to target 1 to 2 on a minimum, or you want to 3, depending on whatever is your analysis. So you want to use 100, that is 1%, to make 3%, 1% to make 3%, or you are using 3% to make 9%. So, and with this kind of strategy, you basically need about 40 to 45% win rate for your strategy for you to be very, very much profitable and on top of the game. Now, all this will matter if you understand how to manage this. All this will matter if you understand how to manage this. So that is one definite thing when it comes to risk management. Now, apart from your this risk percentage now, another thing is you want to look at your leverage. Leverage is another thing that kills people in trading. People don't understand leverage. Leverage is like borrowed money. When you have $1,000, and because of leverage, you can have access to trading $10,000. Because now you are leveraging times 10 of whatever you have. So this also is a full video on its own, which will also get that in our next video or upcoming video. We'll also keep you guys posted. So, but this is just what it is. If you understand leverage, you understand risk per percentage per trade, then you work on your strategy. So your strategy will not mean anything if all this is not in place. And another thing is your psychology. When it comes to trading, how to handle your emotion and your psychology. That is also very underrated, because if you keep this in check, psychology will also be in check. So all of them are interconnected to themselves. Psychology, all of them are interconnected to themselves. From percentage to psychology to your win rate to your leverage. If you are to even, how do I put it, if you are to put them on the scale, this will come almost last, this will come first, this will come second, this will come third, because you need to understand all this in their arrangement. So that is what I have for this. So we'll be shooting more videos on risk management. We'll have a part where we'll talk more about your leverage, more about your risk allocation or fund allocation, then more on psychology. So this is a brief or short video or first video on this particular topic. So thank you, and follow us for more on our YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and that will be all for today.